Hi, I'm Kritika. I'm going to take about generals of Python programming. Python is an programming language. It is a design philosophy and reliability use of significant identification. It is a very popular general purpose interpreted interactive object-oriented high-level programming language. It is designed by Judo van Rassam. In Python now we are going to see about an decision control statements. In decision control statements, control statement has different ways. Let's now going to see about one by one. First one is we're going to see about an control statement. What do you mean by control statement? Control statement is a statement that determines the control flow of set of instructions. That is, it decides the sequence instruction in a program are to be executed. Then here in the control statements, there are types of control statement. That is, first one is an sequential control, second one is an selection control, and then third one is an iterative control. What do you mean by sequential control? A Python program executed sequentially, that is, from first line of the program to a last line. And then next for selection control, it is used to select a set of statements. Do not execute all the it is used to filtering what the purpose we need. Iterative control means set of elements that is repeatedly. It is a continuous chain process. Repeatedly it will access. These are the three main processes in control statements. First one is a sequential control. Second one is a selection control. And then third one is an iterative control. Sequential control means the executive line of program into the last line, first to last. Selection means selected used to select a set of programs. And then iterative control means it is used to execute statements repeatedly what we have done. It is for control statements. Next one we are going to see about if statement. What is meant by if statement? If statement, if condition is evaluated true, the code inside the body of the loop will be executed. If condition is evaluated false, the code inside will not be executed. That is if statement. If the condition is true means the code inside the body will be executed. Otherwise, if the condition is false means it will go next for the next statement. That is about if statement. Here we are going to see about if statement, syntax of the if statement. If text expression, statement 1, and then statement n, and goes for statement. As here what we know about in this syntax means if the statement 1 is true, it will go for next statement. Otherwise, if the condition is false, it will go for an out of the loop. That is an if statement. Here, for example, x equal to 10, we initialize the value of x 10. If x greater than 0, test the value of x. If x equal to x plus 1, increment the value of x if it is greater than 0. Print x and then print the value of x. Here the output will be, what will be the output? 11. That is for x equal to x plus 1. X value is 10 and then plus 1. Print of x means the value will be 11. This is the if statement. Next we are going to see about an if else statement. If else statement. What do you mean by if else statement? If else statement means it is a simple if statement. If there is a limit of statement that is used to execute. For example, here we are going to see about syntax if test condition expression has statement block 1, else statement block 2, statement X. Here what we are seeing about, if the test expression is true means it will execute the statement block 1, otherwise else it go for statement block 2. Here we are seeing about a flowchart, that is, if test condition is true, it will go for statement block 1. If its test condition is false means it's go for statement block 2 and then go for next statement X. For example, here age equal to int, input, enter the age. If age greater than or equal to 18 means print you are eligible to vote. Else otherwise, years equal to 18 minus age means print you have to wait for another plus string of years plus years to cast your vote. Then here what will be the output? Enter the age, now present age 19, and then you have to wait for another 8 years to cast your vote. This is an if-else statement. That is, if the condition is true, it will execute. Next, we are going to see about a nested if statement. Nested if statement is a statement that is called a compound statement. Here we are more complex. If the statement can be nested, it can be placed on one side. In case inner statement is a statement part of the outer one. The nested if statement in Python are nesting of an if statement inside another if statement with or without an else statement. This is the basics of nested if statement. That is, statement contains another statement is called a compound statement. To perform more complex check, if statement can be nested. It can be placed one inside the other. And what is mean nested loop statement? Nested loop means a loop statement inside another loop statement. That is why nested loops are also called as loop inside loop. We can define any number of loops inside another loop. That is nested loop statement. And second, we have seen about the nested loop statement means loop statement inside another loop statement. That is why we have called as a nested loop as called as loop inside loops. We can define any number of loops inside another loop. That is why nested loops. Nested if statement is situation to check for another condition after a condition resolves to true. It will use to check a condition true. Here we are going to see about an example. Num equal to int of input of enter any number from 0 to 30. If num greater than equal to 0 and num less than 10, print it is in a range of 0 to 10. If num greater than equal to 10 and num less than 20, print it is in the range 10 to 20. If num greater than equal to 20 and num less than 30, print it is in a range of 20 to 30. Here we are going to see use to check on three conditions. If num greater than equal to 0 and num less than 10. And then if num greater than equal to 10 and num less than 10, 20. If num greater than equal to 20 and num less than 30. That is, we are going to see about three conditions. Then what will be the output? Enter any number from 0 to 30 to 25. It is in the range. If we enter any number from 0 to, suppose we are giving a number 21. It is in the range 20 to 30. Okay, understand? This is for nested if statements. Next, we are going to see about an if else statement. What do you mean by if statement? That is, Python supports all the elastic to test additional conditions apart from the initial test expressions. If else construct in the same way usual if else statement. If else construct also known as nested if construct. That is, if else are conditional statement that provides you the decision making that is required when you execute code based on a particular condition. The if statement used to automate the decision making process. This is an use for decision making process automatically. Conditions will be checked, decision making depends on. That is if else statement. It is also a nested if construct. Here now we are going to see about an flowchart, that is test expression 1. If the condition is true means it will be execute statement block 1. If the condition is false means it goes for test expression 2 next process. If the test expression condition is true means it will go for statement block 2. Otherwise it will go for statement block X. If the condition is false, it go for execute statement block Y. This is for if else statement. Once again we have seen if else statement is an additional condition of initial test expression. Same way is used if else statement. If else construct also nested if construct. Here now we are going to see an example. Num equal to int of input enter any number. If num equal to 0, print the value is equal to 0. If num greater than 0, print the number is positive. Else print the number is negative. Then what will be the output? Enter any number. Suppose we are giving -10. The number is negative. If you are given the number in the integer, it will given in a positive values. This is for if else statement. Next we are going to see about a while loop. What do you mean by while loop? The while loop can execute a set of statements as long as condition is true. The while loop evaluates the condition. If the condition evaluates is true, the code inside the while loop is to be executed. The condition is evaluated again and again. It's a continuous process. That is, if while loop is used to execute a block of statements repeatedly until a given condition is satisfied. This is for while loop. Condition is true, it will be executed. Here we are going to see about a syntax of while loop. That is statement X, while condition, statement block, statement Y. We are next going to see about a flowchart of while loop. That is for statement X. If the condition is true, it will go for update the condition expression and then for statement block. If it is for the condition is false means it will go for statement Y. That is, if the condition is true means it will go for a condition expression statement. False means go for next one. Example, I equal to 0 while I less than equal to 10. Print I comma end equal to I plus 1. Then output, what will be the output? 0 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the output of this I equal to I plus 1 values. These are about the while loop. While loop is a loop execute a set of statements as long as condition is true. And then next we are going to see about an for loop. What is mean by for loop? That is, for loop is used for iterating over a sequence. That is either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or a string. This for loop is less like a keyword in another programming language, and then it is an object-oriented programming language. For loop provides a mechanism to repeat until a task particular condition is true. It is a chain process. After the condition is true, it will be evaluated. It is usually known as determinate definite loop because the programmer knows exactly how many times the loop will repeat. Then the foreign statement is looping statement used in Python to iterate over a sequence of objects. That is for loop. The for loop is an iterating over a sequence, that is a repeated chain-like process. Here we have done iterate over a sequence of objects. And then for statement flowchart syntax, next we are going to see about a syntax of for loop. For loop control variance in sequence statement block. Here flow of statement in for loop. Specify the range of numbers assigned to the loops, and then control variable. And then if the statement is true, it will be for next statement. Otherwise, it false means it will come back. That is, simply we have known about for loop is then multiple number of process, that is condition is true, it will repeated process. That is like chain process we have done. This is for loop. Next, we are going to see about an for loop and range of functions. The range of function is a built-in function in Python that is used to iterate over a sequence of numbers. The syntax of range is range beginning comma end comma and then step process. The range produces a sequence of numbers starting with beginning, that is beginning is inclusive, and ending with one less than number n. The step argument is option. By default, every number in the range is incremented by 1, but we can specify a different increment using step. It can be both negative and positive, but not be 0. Kindly noted that it will be not negative or positive, but it will not be in a 0 values. Here we are going to see one example for I in range 1, 5, that is 1 is beginning, 5 is an end. Print I, n equal to process. Then what will be the output? 1 is beginning and 5 is an ending. By ending, before we have to execute the values, -1 of the end values. That is then the output will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let us see here another example. For I in range 1, 10, 2, print I, end equal to, and what will be the output? 1 is the beginning, 10 is an end value, 2 is a step, that is step is represented in a square bracket. Then the output will be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This is for loop and range functions. Next, we are going to see about a range of functions. The range of function is given a single argument. It produces an object with values from 0 to argument. For example, range of 10 is equal to writing range of 0, 10. If the range of is called with two arguments, it produces value from the first to the second. For example, range of 0, 10. If range has three arguments, then the third argument specifies the interval of the sequence produced. In this case, the third argument must be an integer. For example, range 1, 20, 3. That is the last value, third value is by integer. Let us see an example. For I in range of 10, print I, n equal to. Then what will be the output? I, values. That is a range of 10 before we have to execute. That is n to before minus 1. Then output will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 9. And then let's say in another example. For I in range 1, 15, print I, end. Then what will be the output? Before 15, 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to 14. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and then 14. This is output for this one. Next we are going to say another range of 1, 20, 3. That is print I, end. Then what will be the output is I, 20 in between three values we have to add. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. These are the output for three different ways examples for range of functions. Next we are going to see about a condition controlled and counter controlled loops. Here we are going to main difference between counter controlled loops and then condition controlled loops. And then first we have most common main three different attitude is number of execution, condition variable, and then value and limitation of variables. The three options we are going to see with an difference of counter control loop and condition control loop. Number of execution in counter control loop is executed in advanced way, whereas in a condition control loop is not known in advance. That is number of times loop has to be executed in advanced type in number of execution counter control. Number of times the loop has executed is not known in advance in condition control loop. Next one, condition variables. In counter control loop we have a counter variable, else in condition control loops we have a sentinel variable. Next we are going to see about a value and limitations of variables. The value of the counter variable and condition for loop execution both are strict, whereas the conditions for a loop execution is strict in a counter control also. That is value and limitations values is both same in a condition control and counter control loops. Then let us see an example for condition control loop. That is I equal to 0 while I less than equal to 10. Print I comma n equal to I plus 1 equal to 1 for conditional control. And then next for counter control, I equal to 1 while I greater than 0. Print I comma n equal to I plus equal to 1. If I equal to 10, break. These are for condition control and counter control loops. Next, we are going to see about an nested loops. Nested loop Python allows its users to have nested loop, that is, its loop can place inside other loop. It is a repeated process, cycle chain process. One or more number of multiple loops you have to use. For loop can be used to control number of times a particular set of statements will be executed. While loop is control the number of times to repeated whole values. For example, here we are going to see about a star with rows and columns. For I in range of 5, that is 5 rows, we have called print of for j in range of 5 and then print star values. Here we are going to see it is for nested loops. And then next we are going to see about an break statement. The break statement is used to terminate the execution of the nearest enclosing loop in which it appears. The break statement is widely used for loop and while loop. When compiler encounters a break statement, the control passes to the statement that follows the loop in which the break statement appears. For example, we have the break statement used for while for loop. If condition is break, it transfers out of the while loop. If the condition break, transfer out of the for loop. And condition is break, transfer out of inner loop. These are three ways of break statement we are using. Now let us consider the example. I equal to 1 while I less than equal to 10. Print I comma end equal to. If I equal to 5, break I equal to I plus 1. Print of, and then what will be the output? The output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next line we are going to say print done values. This is for a break statement. And the next we are going to see about an continue statement. It is similar like an break statement, but continue statement will appear the body in of the loop. When the compiler encounters a continue statement, the rest of statements loop are skipped and the control is unconditionally transferred to the loop continuation portion of nearest enclosing loops. The continue statement while if condition continue transfers control the condition expression to the while loop. That is for if condition continue condition expression for loop. It is for while. And then for loop we have for if condition continue transfers control to the condition expression for inner loop. Let us see an example. For I in range 1, 11, if I equal to 5, continue, print I, end equal to, print, then the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will be not displayed, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and the next line we are going to print it done. It is an output of the continue statement. Next, we are going to see about an pause statement. The pause statement is used when the statement is required syntactically. No command or code. It is also called as null operation. No operation. It will happen. The statement executed. Nothing happens. It will pause statement is executed. It's a pause statement. But let us see about difference between comment and pause statement. In Python, pause is a null statement. The difference between a comment and pause statement is that while the interpreter ignores a comment entirely, but pause is not ignored. Comment is not executed, but pause statement is executed, but nothing happens. Let us see an example for letter in hello. Pass, the statement is doing nothing. Print pass letter. Then print done. And what will be the output? The output will be pass colon hello and then HELLO 1 by 1 under. It will be used to display. This is for pass statement. Next one we are going to see about else statement used with loops. Unlike C and C++, in Python, the else statement is associated with a loop statements. If the else statement is used for loop, the else statement is completed iterating until the condition is become false. For example, here, example for letter in hello, print letter comma n sequence, else print done. Output is, what will be the output? Hello done. And then for another example, I equal to 1, while I less than 0, print of I equal to I minus 1, else print of I, it is not an negative, so loop did not execute. And what will be the output? 1 is not negative, so loop did not execute. This is for else statement used with loops.